Welcome to N3 Ninja on the Next News Network, unmasking the narrative, one strike at a time. The political rules in Washington are never applied equally, especially when it comes to the establishment's protected class. For years, Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has seemed completely insulated from the kind of serious scrutiny that would instantly derail anyone else's career. No matter how much smoke gathered around her personal filings or her political circle, the corporate media looked away and treated every inquiry as completely off-limits. We all know how this game works, but reality has a funny way of catching up to people who think they are untouchable. When the federal government steps in and blocks public records, that protective shield starts to crack wide open. The pressure is mounting. A federal agency has officially refused to release documents concerning long-standing fraud allegations against Representative Ilhan Omar. The denial cited a Freedom of Information Act exemption, stating explicitly that releasing the records could interfere with enforcement proceedings. When a federal agency denies a FOIA request because disclosure could harm an active enforcement proceeding, they are telling you exactly what is happening behind the curtain. You do not cite an active enforcement exemption unless there is an active enforcement case. They are holding back the paperwork because the paperwork is the investigation. The paper trail is moving up the food chain. For years, the establishment media treated these allegations as completely out of bounds. They mocked anyone who asked questions about her background or her filings. Now, the government's own lawyers are stepping in to protect a live probe. The backdrop here is a sprawling fraud scandal unfolding in her home state of Minnesota. Discussing the situation on television, Newsweek's senior editor-at-large Josh Hammer pointed directly to the Congresswoman. Hammer stated that based on his research, it is clear Omar committed fraud in her marriage paperwork. He referenced Ben Weingard's book, American Ingrate, to back up the long-standing claim, noting that the allegations are not new, but the apparent investigation is. Hammer did not hold back his personal feelings on the matter, explicitly calling Omar the, quote, queen bee of the Somali fraud in the Twin Cities. Hammer went even further on the broadcast, stating, "I wish her frankly nothing but the worst. I hope that she is deported ASAP." You can practically hear the paper shredders running in Minneapolis right now. Oh no, they found the FOIA requests. Quick, draft another tweet about right-wing persecution. If we complain about systemic bias loud enough, maybe the federal investigators will just get confused and audit a farmer's market instead. Look over there, a microaggression. This goes far beyond a single denied FOIA request or a pundit's television hit. For years, the squad operated under the assumption that political insulation could protect them from basic legal accountability. They thought the rules simply did not apply to them. But when federal authorities acknowledge that active enforcement proceedings are underway, that insulation completely disappears. The standard of equal justice under the law has to apply to everyone, regardless of their party or their political status. The scrutiny is entirely real. The questions are not going away. The era of total immunity is finally running out of time. That's it for this N3 Ninja update. Stay sharp and keep watching the Next News Network.